Hello, and welcome to the Malcolm Stevens Hour on Malmesbury Carnival Radio. Brace yourself for the jingle.
Malcolm Stevens, an adventure in sound.
That is so cool. My own jingle. And can I say what an absolute privilege and honour it is to be here presenting to you all on this most special of weeks for Malmesbury.
Don't forget me.
What?
Well, Richard McMenemy, I'm here too. It's my radio show as well.
With Richard McMenemy?
It's Richard McMenemy.
Well, that's what I said, wasn't it?
No, you said some garbled nonsense because you were pretending to mispronounce my name, but I know you were doing it on purpose.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, my name is Richard McMenemy.
Is it?
Yeah. Come on, man, you've known me since school.
Have I?
Yeah. Why are you being like this?
Why am I being like this? You're the one trying to embarrass me on air in front of all my new friends.
Well, it would just be nice to have a bit of recognition, that's all.
Right, okay, well, with Robert McMenemy. Happy?
Well, not really, no.
Great. Well, dear listener, you will no doubt recognise me from my award-winning performances in several productions with local thespian entourage, the Athelstan Players.
Were they actually award-winning, though?
What?
Your performances, did you actually win any awards for them?
Well...
Yeah?
Well, after seeing my dame in the off-Broadway smash Beauty and the Beast, the Gazette and Herald gushed that my performance was not entirely without redemption. And also my mum liked it so much that she let me have a second bowl of Coco Pops the next morning.
Yeah. That's more of a reward than an award, though, isn't it?
Are you going to do this all evening?
Well, probably.
Anyway, dear listeners, for the next hour, we will be gently cupping your tender ears and pouring the sweet balm of my voice into them, whence it will make its soothing way like a gondola of calm along your auditory canals into the very centres of your fevered minds.
Well, and my voice too. My voice will be like a hot, savoury gravy that will be poured over the listeners' spatchcock minds. Oh, that sounded much better in my head. Anyway, Malk, I have to say, as a visitor to your lovely Wiltshire Market town, what a brilliant place this is.
Thank you. I'm sure my many listeners will be very touched by that observation. And tell me, Richard, what's your favourite thing about it? Is it the fact that it's steeped in history, the Abbey, the Old Bell, Daniel's Well, Hannah Twinoy's grave? There's so many stories, mate. Or is it the abundance of nature that surrounds us, bathing us in bucolic splendour? Or the charming townsfolk who are always bowling along happily through their days, smiling at each other and thinking of really nice things that they can say about each other on Facebook forums?
Well, yeah. I mean, that stuff's all fine, but my favourite feature...
Yes?
Well, it's the fact you have two co-ops. Two co-ops in one town. I never thought I'd see something like that. Not in my lifetime.
I know. We're living the dream, right?
You know, these days I live in London.
Well, you live in Brockley.
London, and even there I haven't witnessed such wanton...
Bacchanalian?
Bacchanalian, yeah. Bacchanalian retail excess. Two co-ops. It's incredible, mate.
I know, right? Two co-ops.
Two co-ops.
Two co-ops. So, what else do you like about the town?
Well, just the two co-ops, really.
Right. But will you be recommending the town to your fashionable hipster London chums with their segues and their creative facial hair and their deliciously ironic brown pullovers?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. And what would you say?
I will say, hey, Logan, and hey, Xavier.
Are all your friends named after the X-Men?
Well, not all of them, just both of them.
Right. Sorry, I didn't realise. Anyway, you were saying.
Oh, yeah. I would say to Logan and Xavier, hey, you guys, you want to see a provincial town with two co-ops? And when they reply in the affirmative, I'm going to say, yeah? Well, get yourself on down to glorious sun-kissed Tetbury.
Look, I get it. You're new round here, but we don't mention that town in these here parts.
What?
Shh! I can't believe you just embarrassed me like that. My dear listeners, I am so sorry about that. That's what happens when you let a London hipster speak into electronic equipment. They say idiotic things like Tetbury. Oh, great. Now you've made me say it. Honestly, it would have been better if you'd just sworn.
Well, I could do that now if you like.
No! Anyway, dear listeners, in the ensuing chaos of my erstwhile friend's gaffe, I've spilt Fanta on the delicate electronic broadcasting equipment. So we're going to have to take a little break now and listen to a message from our sponsors, who, to be fair, have spared no expense by getting none other than folk legend Bob Dylan to do their advert. I literally can't believe you just did that.
Uh-oh, Bob Dylan has a big gig tonight, but it's also his turn to do the band's washing up. What brand of washing up liquid will Bob Dylan use?
Now hands that do dishes are as soft as your face with my green fairy liquid.
And so we come to the phone-in section of the show. Woo! This is your chance to phone in and ask my advice.
And mine.
Yeah, I suppose. And it could be advice on anything. The full gamut of the human condition that we in Radioland call life.
Well, I think everyone calls it that.
Shh.
Don't shush me.
It could be anything across the entire continuum of human experience, from, hey, Malk, what vocal warm-ups do you do before going on stage? All the way through to, hey, Malk, what other warm-ups do you do before going on stage?
And Brexit, of course.
Well, no,
It's Richard.
Raymond,
Richard.
Richard. No, we won't be covering Brexit.
Only because you don't know what it is.
Well, yes, I do.
Go on then. Explain Brexit to your many, many listeners.
Well,
Yeah?
well, I would be wasting my time explaining it fully to someone like you.
Well, why don't you try?
Well, it's
Yeah?
it's something to do with Europe
Yeah, so far so good.
and Britain.
Yep, keep going.
Um,
Come on, you're doing
and
very well.
robots and karate.
Oh, mate, so close. You just fell at the final hurdle, and I'm defining final hurdle here as the bit where you accurately and actually define Brexit. Maybe it's better if I field any questions regarding politics, and also if any of our listeners have any legal questions, I would be happy to offer advice for a fraction of my usual fee, as in London, I am a successful barrister.
yeah. We'll be sure to come to you if we need to know how to make a flat latte or a skinny white.
Yeah, well done. The old barrister joke. Yeah, well done, Melk. You are probably just the 10 millionth person to think of that. Trust me, mate, that joke is old, lame, and tedious.
What?
Really? You do know the difference between baristas and barristers, don't you?
Well, of course I do. It's
Yeah.
it's well, it's
Yeah, come on, waiting.
do with coffee
Yeah. Go on.
and law
Pray. Continue.
and
Yes.
come on,
Yep.
robots and karate.
So close, mate. So close again. Once again, you were stitched up by your old enemy. Factual accuracy.
Anyway, we are getting frantic signals from our producer, no doubt, because the phones are white hot with your calls, and our call handlers, Ed, Liz, Anne, and Philip.
So, you've either just made those four people up, or you've employed the royal family.
No, just four guys, just four regular guys on gap years. Anyway, our producer is signaling me to say that the phones are ringing quite literally off the hook. So let's go to caller one. Caller one, hello, and what's your question?
There's no caller one.
Pardon?
There's no caller one.
Oh dear.
No callers?
No.
Well,
Don't look at me, mate.
who publicised the number?
Oh, it's your job, mate.
My job?
Yeah, come on, mate.
Why is it my job?
Well,
Yeah, how do you work that out? I'm the talent. You know, I recorded this jingle for you guys and I didn't have to.
Phone us on the telephone, that would be so neat. Please don't try to fax us, cause faxes are obsolete. Phone us on the telephone, why not take a chance? Please don't try to tweet us, cause Twitter is too advanced.
Brilliant.
There we go. I mean, that was stone
yeah,
cold.
there's no actual phone number on there, was there?
I didn't mention the number in it.
No, you didn't.
That's one up.
Do I have to think of everything? I mean,
It's your show.
surely your publicity team should have done it. I mean,
There's no budget for a publicity team.
what do you mean? No budget for a publicity team? I mean, well, why not?
It's your Blue Nun, your impossible demands for Blue Nun.
Spend my impossible demands for Blue Nun.
That's right. Yeah. I mean, didn't you give the number to anybody, like your Facebook or something like that?
Must be milk.
No, I didn't give the number to anyone. I mean, I recorded that jingle, but apart from that, I gave it to my mum.
Well, I don't know what to suggest, mate. Hello? Yeah, he's here. Yeah, I'll just put you through.
Oh, thank God. Someone around here has done their job. Hello there, caller number one.
Hello, Malcolm.
Oh, for goodness sake.
It's your mum.
Mum, why are you calling me on the radio?
Oh, you're playing radios, are you, dear?
No.
Oh, that's nice. I wondered what you were doing, locked up in the room with your friend. like
Mum,
that.
it's just a friend.
I just wondered if you wanted a bowl of Coco
Well,
Pops.
no, don't worry. Well,
Oh, and if you're on the radio, make sure you wash your hands
no.
afterwards. I don't know where it's been.
Yeah, well, Mum, you have to hang up because I'm about to have lots of people call up about Brexit and cappuccinos and robots and karate.
Okay, dear. I just wanted to let you know that I've bought you 5 more Caramacs. You don't need to have one of your massive tantrums.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Mum. Bye. Oh, Mum,
Yes, dear?
just leave a bowl of Coco Pops outside my door, please.
Yes. Okay, my little onion muffin.
And please don't call me Onion Muffin on radio.
Sorry, Mucky Wucky Woo. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Gold.
Bye-bye.
You hang up.
You hang up first.
No, you hang up, Mum.
Okay. Bye, darling. Bye-bye.
She gone.
Yes.
Well, didn't you just get totally owned by your mum? How embarrassing. The one phone call this whole poorly thought through radio show gets, and is your mum showing that things haven't changed since we were 13. Well, it's just teething troubles, and, Mum was probably drunk and too much Blue Nun. We'll get another call, dear listeners, any minute now is the
you keep spinning
time
out.
frame in which we will get another...
This is embarrassing.
Oh, thank God.
Well, that was fluky, wasn't it?
Hello? Yeah. I'll just put you through.
Was your mum?
Hello, caller, 2. Yes, 2.
Hello, Malcolm. It's Mrs. McMenemy here.
Oh, God.
Is Richard with you there, please?
No. It's for you. Oh, I know, I can hear it's on radio. All right, Mum?
Oh, Richard.
Mum, is this important? I'm on radio.
Yes, I bet you are. Well, I was just calling to say that when I was making your bed this morning, I found those magazines.
Yes, well, thank you, Mum, and goodbye. Right, well,
let's move on to the traffic news now, shall we?
Oh, for the love of God, do that. I'll be back in a bit.
Where are you going?
I'm going to go and get those magazines back before Mum bins them. Some of those are vintage, mate. Vintage.
Right. Traffic. Well, now we are going to go to Tanya Reynolds for the latest travel and traffic updates. Hello, Tanya.
Tanya's always, we love her loads. She tells us what's going on the roads.
Hello, Martin.
It's Malcolm.
Right. Sorry.
Well, anyway, Tanya, here I am, a DJ, and here you are, the traffic reporter. So in the finest tradition of DJ and traffic reporter, we'll now engage in some anodyne, good-natured, flirtatious persiflage.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll just do the traffic, shall I?
Yes, do the traffic.
Right, well, the B4040 towards Shurston is open again following a crash involving a Flying Monk brewery delivery truck. And please, can nobody else text in with the joke about this being the yeast-bound carriageway? In the other direction, the B4040 towards Cricklade, the police are still advising motorists to reduce their speed as there are still confused festival goers roaming the wild around here, muttering cries such as, "Good God, man, what was in those brownies? I could have sworn those were just chanterelle mushrooms," and "Oh wow, look at my hands, look at my hands. If I move them like this, it's like a peacock's tail made of sky." So go steadily there. Meanwhile, if you are driving up Tetbury Hill, look out for a white Volvo 440 that's parked by the church. It is parked perfectly legally and is not causing an obstruction, but it does belong to Gavin Richardson, and if his car is there, then it means he has resumed his affair with Phyllis Saunders. And we are just getting reports that a car has turned right at the Cherry Tree and travelled 50 yards in the wrong direction down the high street. So if you are on the high street, do take extra care, but more importantly, make sure you shake your head in an admonishing fashion, tut a bit, shrug incredulously to similarly indignant onlookers, and slow clap the motorist as they shamefacedly try to correct their mistake, thereby reminding them that they are the only people on the street without spotless driving histories. And I'm just hearing reports that the police have rounded up the last of the feral festival goers and have lured them into a police van with promises of Snicker bars and Wrigley's Juicy Fruit flavoured chewing gum. And that's it for now. Thanks to everybody who texted in with messages and updates.
Thank you, Tanya. That was a great report. Oh, it's a great report. Thank you. And that bit about Gavin Richardson.
Yes?
Well, it was very funny.
Well, not really. He's my husband.
Right. Well, well, we'll hear back from you in what 20 minutes with more travel updates?
No, I don't think so. I'm going round to Phyllis Saunders' house right now. The cow. I'll give her. "Oh, Gavin, my cheese scones are better than Tanya's."
Great. Right. Well, have fun. And off she goes. Hell hath no fury and all that. Crikey. Well, we are now going to segue seamlessly from that little vignette of heartbreak and betrayal into our agony uncle section. Following the success in other media of Dear Deirdre, we have our very own version, Ask Arsene, with Gallic philosopher and former Arsenal manager, Arsene Wenger.
Don't see a shrink, no need to see a parson. All you gotta do is ask Arsene.
Little jingle there for you, Arsene. Good day to you, sir. hello, or as we say in France, allons.
Wow, advice on matters of the heart and top language tips. So, thank you for joining us today, Arsene.
Pas de problème.
Many people will remember you, of course, as a trailblazing football manager who brought a welcome dose of intellectualism to the footballing debate and who lit up the Premiership with sensational teams that were defined by flair and buccaneering excitement.
Thank you, or as we say in France, thank you.
Yes, you ushered in an unprecedented era of success for the Gunners until it all fizzled out a bit in the last few years.
Pardon, or as we say in France, pardon.
Nothing. Anyway, what many people don't know is that you are also wise in the ways of the heart.
Correct.
Okay, so that's great. We have a letter here from one of our listeners, and it goes like this. Dear Arsene, that's you?
Yes, I know.
Of course you know that. Sorry, I've never been around a real football manager before. Dear Arsene, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 5 years now. We've been very happy for all of that time. He is funny, kind, thoughtful, good-looking. My mum and dad love him. But whenever I start to bring up the subject of us moving in together, he gets very quiet, surly even. Recently, when he was out, I stumbled quite by chance upon a scrapbook that my boyfriend had hidden beneath a tower of pornography that was concealed in a thumbprint-accessed vault buried in 2 feet of titanium-enforced concrete. As I say, this discovery was quite by chance. So anyway, I started flicking through this scrapbook and I find that it's full of cut-out photos of my face sellotaped onto photos of flamingos. I guess, Mr. Wenger, my question is, why? Why flamingos? And should I be worried? And is my boyfriend's repositioning of me as a flamingo-human hybrid the reason he doesn't want to live with me? So, Arsene, it's an anonymous letter, obviously, although it was written by Jill Saunders, who lives on Cataver Lane. So anyway, Arsene, quite a lot of questions there. What is your take on this?
Well, it is quite interesting, or as we say in France, intéressant. Love is, how shall I put this to you? Love is like a delicate flower, right? It must be nurtured and watered, and sometimes horticulture is not enough. Sometimes we must dig deeper.
Oh, that's absolutely, Arsene. That's beautiful. I was interested by the significance of the flamingos.
Sometimes, in the absence of clarity, we project our hopes, our fears, our love, our dreams, our nightmares, our fantasies onto other images, images that usually conform to what we call in the football management fraternity Jungian archetypes. Oui?
So the flamingos, what is their significance in this particular relationship?
Well, I do not know. I did not see the specific incident.
Sorry, what?
Well, I cannot comment on this, or I risk getting fined by the FA.
Look, mate, I've seen Match of the Day. Is this going to be your shtick for the entire segment?
Yes.
Then please just leave.
But
No, just go.
Okay. A bientôt.
Honestly, he was supposed to be our big guest. I can't believe how much he cost, and for what? I mean, what was that? A couple of minutes, and how much was it? How much did he cost us? 4 bottles of Blue Nun, I think. 5. 5. For goodness sake. And now, let's go to a word from our sponsor. Arsene, you can come out of that cupboard now. We've stopped broadcasting. The exit's that way.
Oh, thank you so much. It was getting very hot in there.
Club biscuits pack a crunchy punch layered in thick, delicious milk chocolate, and Bob Dylan loves them.
If you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club.
Well, I am delighted now. A bit of culture, a bit of history and culture. I'm delighted to welcome into the studio Professor Simon Brotherton, Emeritus Professor at Harvard and Yale. Is that right? Prof? Don't call me Prof. Right, sorry. I just don't think I've ever met a real Prof. Essa before. Anyway, it's lovely to have you on the program. I am one of, I am a relative newcomer to Malmesbury. You might even call me a residential tourist, and no, I wouldn't call you that. Right. Well. Anyway, we're told this lovely story about Malmesbury being, the oldest borough in England, King Athelstan and all that sort of thing. But you have a very different take on all that, haven't you? Well, quite right. I have conducted extensive research into Malmesbury over the last few, crikey now, let me think, weeks, and I have found out some quite extraordinary things. There's all this guff about King Athelstan, being the first king of a united England, and Malmesbury being the oldest borough in England. But I have done extensive research using state-of-the-art technology. Oh, would you like to explain some of that? Well, I could try, but with all due respect, I would probably be wasting my time explaining a historian's process to a layman such as yourself. Well, you are in the business of pedagogy, so, just pretend I am a complete idiot and work up from there. I already am doing that. Right, well, thank you, but, tell us, nonetheless, what state-of-the-art technology the 21st century historian uses, please. Very well, though it is frankly a waste of my time, your time, and that of your listener. I use a platform known, quite simply, as the YouTube, and also the Google and the Wikipedia. And I have discovered that Malmesbury is not an ancient and charming market town at all. It was in fact invented in the 1980s as a tax haven for new wave legends Kajagoogoo. Their accountant had convinced them that ploughing their money into and I'm wiggling my fingers here to denote quote marks, oldie-worldy experience of Albion was a great way of dodging the taxman. The advice of this accountant, as it transpired, turned out to be bogus. Indeed, it was merely the rantings of a man who wanted to get revenge on a Tetbury resident who had rendered him a cuckold. Kajagoogoo lost all of their money and, following the poor commercial performance of their album Crazy People's Right to Speak, were forcibly dissolved by the Thatcher government. The townsfolk, who were actually thousands of aspiring actors who had arrived in the locale believing they were appearing in a feel-good Sunday night drama on ITV starring Richard Briers, were then made to believe that they and their families had lived there for generations as part of some sinister mass mind control experiment propagated by dark elements within the very heart of Wiltshire County Council. However, with Kajagoogoo gone, the locals grew restless and, unable to vent their rage on Make Malmesbury Even Better, on account of the unfortunate fact that the internet had not yet been invented, they dragged Malmesbury to the very brink of anarchy. Malmesbury, for what we historians call the 1980s, was a dark, lawless backwater, until the timely arrival of billionaire playboy and philanthropist James, don't call it a Hoover, Dyson. Now, Dyson was already flushed with the success of the Bull Barrow, which was inspired by an event at a 1980s dinner party that the aspiring young inventor had attended one night. Here he happened to glimpse a Terry's chocolate orange stuck beneath a hostess trolley. And that night, his stomach churning with the wild excitement of raw invention and more than an excess of Viennetta and Blue Nun, Dyson invented his envelope-pushing wheel-led horticultural aid, or indeed chariot. But he did not stop there. Now, we all know about the vacuum cleaners that he invented after that, but what many people don't know is that while Dyson is indeed a millionaire playboy and inventor by day, by night he is the enigmatic winged avenger of justice, known only as the Barrow Boy. His first arch-villain was Nietzsche, who had caused anarchy among disillusioned Malmesbury townsfolk with his pioneering philosophical notion of nihilism. However, he proved no match for Dyson, as it turns out that Nietzsche abhors a vacuum. Dyson did not rest on his laurels and ploughed his millions into state-of-the-art crime-fighting and detection equipment, including sonar, hacking into police bandwidths, and arguably his most powerful tool in the battle against social disorder, the Make Malmesbury Even Better Facebook page. This is why these days most of the Barrow Boy's nocturnal crime-fighting interventions involve picking up dog turds from the pavement, correcting bad parking, and shooing pigeons away from popular municipal seating. And so, the legend of the Barrow Boy continues to this day.
I'm going to stop you there.
I beg your pardon.
Well, this isn't a history of Malmesbury. It's just a variation of Batman, and it's not even a good variation of Batman.
Nonsense. Batman? Pah! What piffle! As if Batman would use Make Malmesbury Even Better. No, he probably logs on to Gotham's grumbles and groans.
Where exactly did you say that you teach?
Teach?
Yes, teach.
I didn't say that I teached. I mean taught.
Yes, you did. You mentioned Harvard and Yale.
Oh dear me, no. There's been a terrible mistake. No, I work at a warehouse with my dear chums, Howard and Dale.
So, you're not a professor at all?
Well, not technically, no. Howard and Dale just call me professor because I'm quite good at intermediate level Sudoku.
Get out!
Okay, can I have those?
No.
Oh, those. Well, yes, they are your trousers. Right. Bye.
Oh dear. Well, sorry about that, dear listeners. Let's go to a word from our sponsors while I recover from that shame.
After a gig, Bob Dylan craves an instant savoury hit. But what should he have? Well, he'd be a mug to choose anything else.
Nobody makes soup in a cup like Bachelor's Cup of Soup.
Welcome back to what the Gazette and Herald is already calling, if the tweets are to be believed, the Malcolm Stevens Hour of Wow. But we prefer to think of it as the Malcolm Stevens Adventure in Sound, or, to use the appropriate jingle parlance,
Malcolm Stevens Adventure in Sound. Yeah.
Well, I thought we'd discuss this. Where's my name?
oh, look, please don't spoil this. This is a big deal for me. The Gazette and Herald have never used my name and the word wow in the same sentence before, despite the fact that my exploits with the Athelstan players have frankly warranted it on several occasions.
Well, look, it's just that I'm here. I'm missing my flat white and mahjong evening back in my fashionable London suburb to do this with you. It would just be nice to have a bit of recognition, that's all.
Yeah, but I think this...
Malcolm Stevens Adventure in Sound.
really captures the essence of what we're trying to achieve here, and I would say that you're totally present in this jingle.
Where exactly?
Well, sometimes would you not agree that an absence can be just as conspicuous as a presence?
No, not in this instance, no.
Why do you have to do this on air? You know what? Fine, here we go.
Malcolm Stevens Adventure in Sound. Yeah.
With Rachel McNemone. There. You happy now?
It's Richard McMenemy.
Oh, you want your exact name as it appears on your birth certificate now, do you?
Well, Yeah, in as much as I just want my actual name.
You are such a diva. What, would you like a staircase that lights up every time you enter the studio too?
I'm sorry, but studio? What studio?
Well, this studio, or as we call it in the industry, studio. You know, here, where we're currently broadcasting.
It's not really a studio though, is it, mate? It's more like your lounge. Your messy lounge with pants on the radiator.
Hello, that's actually state-of-the-art soundproofing.
And wood lice that are so huge, I actually mistook them for armadillos. Then there are the congealing residues of several pot noodles, an inch-thick patina of dust in which you have attempted to write your own name. Oh, yeah. And the pigeon infestation.
It's hardly an infestation. I mean, there's only 6 of them. Besides, it's quite normal. Every house in Malmesbury's been colonised by at least a brace of pigeons, and your description of my house is wildly exaggerated anyway. Dear listeners, please ignore Raymond?
Richard.
Ignore Richard. Dear listeners, this is a state-of-the-art recording studio, and I'm here looking impeccably coiffed, clean-shaven and fashionable to the point of breathtaking. Richard... It is Richard, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah.
right,
Richard, meanwhile, is sporting a ghastly, unruly beard, and we in the radio fraternity, as I think of myself now as part of the radio fraternity, we refer to beards as the broadcaster's bane.
Why?
Well, turn your head.
What? Why?
Well, just turn your head.
Well, this is going to make for great radio, isn't it? Okay, here goes. Brace yourself, listeners, for man turning head.
There. That, dear listener, that was the sound of Reuben.
It's Richard.
Yeah, him turning his head, prompting his wild whiskers to flail against the delicate membranes of the recording equipment.
That was just you making a scratching sound. It wasn't even a convincing one.
Keep talking, please.
Richard.
Richard. That just shows another flaw with broadcaster's bane.
What do you mean, another flaw?
Did you hear that, dear listeners? That was the sound of
Richard.
Breath whistling through his beard like some sinister southwesterly howling through a furry cat flap.
That was just you again, making a whistling noise. Stop it. It's just you making a whistling noise. Will you... Ow! See, listeners? It was just Malk making a whistling noise while I talked. You're unbelievable, Malk. Actually, you're right.
Oh, it's my beautiful face.
But you're unbelievable, mate. I mean, you were always jealous of my ability to grow a beard from way back when we were 5.
No, I wasn't. Why would I be jealous of that? You know, I can grow a perfectly luxurious beard of my own. Thank you very much.
Malk, that growth that intermittently infests your face can hardly be classed as a beard. It looks more like a bunch of spiders attempting to escape from damp Play-Doh.
Shh! There might be girls listening.
It's unlikely.
Why do you have to embarrass me on...
Malcolm Stevens, an adventure in sound. Yeah.
With Richard McMenemy.
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, could you introduce the next item, please? It's slightly awkward, but I need to go and put some Savlon on my, my malady.
What, horoscopes with Rosnodamus? He gets his own jingle. Why does he get his own jingle?
Because I am, like, so expansive. You see, I already had my answer ready. How did I know to have my answer ready? Because I had already used space to foretell that you would grouse about that.
So you can tell the future, can you, mate?
Yes, indeedy. I have the precious gift to be able to read the stars and the moon and, like, other space stuff to tell the future.
And so, as an expert reader of space, do you find Uranus jokes as funny as the rest of us?
What?
What's the matter, Ross?
Well, I
I was wrong-footed. I wasn't expecting that question.
Surely you've already foretold every question I was going to ask you.
Well, yes, but it's not that simple. I mean, oh, shut up. Can I do the horoscopes now?
You tell me. Do I let you?
Yes?
Oh, amazing. Really amazing. Yeah. I do let you do the horoscopes.
Great. Okay, here goes. Just need to find my inner space. You
go.
put me off my stroke a little bit.
Sorry, mate. What's he do?
Channel the space, channel the moon, channel the stars.
goodness sake.
I can see from afar.
Yeah, but you can.
Okay, here goes. Sagittarius. A little vocal contribution there from yours truly. Hello. Anywho, as you no doubt know, you erudite Sagittarians, Sagittarius is Greek for sausage rolls. And that's very appropriate because you Sagittarians just love your sausage rolls. Especially those Greg's ones, which are basically like puff pastry with pink pig-flavored foam sprayed through the middle. Anywho, here's a twist. You are not gonna have a single sausage roll this week. Oh my God, what a twist. Can you believe it? Unless, of course, you have a sausage roll this week. Go figure. Next up, we have Piskies.
Isn't it Pisces?
Pardon?
It's Pisces.
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 Pisces. No. Do it again.
It's sorry. It's just it's Pisces.
Pisces. It's Pisces.
No.
Pisces, you mean?
Just Pisces.
No. It's got to be Pisces. It's got a curly "k" in it. A curly "k." Anywho, you
Whatever,
Piskies are descended from the magical folk, kin of the elven lords. Am I right or am I right? Anywho, you're going to have a magical old time this week when you bump into a former colleague from work or a friend from school or someone you once got served by in a Starbucks or something like that. Anywho, this week you will bump into someone you haven't seen for a long time. So long, in fact, it might feel like you have literally never met them before. You might even think of them as a stranger. Next up, we have Capricorn. Go goats. All right. Why did I say that? Because I'm a goat too. I love Capricorns. Why? Because I am one. How do I know? I was born in August, and August is the time of Capricorn.
December and January, mate.
Pardon?
December and January.
What? December to January? No. What? Let me see the chart. So what's August? I'm that? I don't want to be that. Leo. I don't want to be that. I want to be a goat.
You can't,
Well,
mate.
Can we change it?
Well, no, it's not up to you.
Jeez. Thanks. You just ruined everything.
Right. Well, I wasn't expecting that, and neither, it would appear, was Ross, which is weird for a teller of the future. Right. Well, is Malk back from his Savlon break?
No, he's had to go to the pharmacist.
Great. Actually, that's great. No. In which case, it is time for my poem. This is a poem I wrote about my true love, a girl who broke my heart when I was just 17. And I have set it within the context of the Cuban Missile Crisis. Now, obviously, I'm a young man, a young, vital man, and I've never experienced the Cuban Missile Crisis, not personally anyway. Indeed, nor have I ever had a true love or had my heart broken. But I was 17 once. for an agonising total of 52 consecutive weeks. And sometimes that kind of ordeal alone gives one an insight into life and the soul and, well, other things like that. Anyway, this is my poem. It's simply entitled, My 17-year-old heart was broken up by my true love in the context of the Cuban Missile Crisis. And it goes a little something like this. Oh, this is written by me, by the way, just so we're clear. Okay. Hopes spoken sideways into the cool cup of midnight. I see you there, and I despair. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Dreams whispered brightly, like the twinkling stars of childhood. I watch you go. I feel such woe. No, no, no.
What are you doing?
Oh, well, I was just, really...
Strict no poetry clause for you, young man. Honestly, I go and put Savlon on my malady for 2 minutes. And when I come back, Rosnodamus is storming out, and you're reading that. That's the poem. That's the poem that you read to Charlotte in school. And she hated it too. She hated it. Anyway, sorry about that, dear listeners. I'm back now. Hello. And we'll go straight to another advert. Honestly.
My name's Coco, I'm a monkey like you. I live in the jungle, not in the zoo. I lived on leaves when there weren't any shops, but I'd rather have a bowl of Coco Pops, oh yeah. So chocolatey they even turn the milk brown. I'd rather have a bowl of Coco Pops.
And now, on Malcolm Stevens, An Adventure in Sound, we have a book at bedtime.
In this place, I've heard a rumor. Don't draw a face on a Satsuma.
Satsuma Face by J.R. Hartley. Read by Bill Patterson.
In this place, I've heard a rumor. Don't draw a face on a Satsuma.
An old children's song. How was I to know? How was I to know that words could be made manifest? That, if you peel back the layer of reality, you reveal the sweet juice of despair. If you'd told me all this back then, I'd have said you were taking the puff. In hindsight, what made it worse was that Satsuma Face didn't arrive in our lives of his own volition. We made him. We summoned him. Or rather, Timmy. Dear little Timmy summoned him. If indeed Timmy was his real name. Well, actually, Timmy was his real name. I was there at the christening. He was my son after all. Some may say he still is my son. Oh, please, Daddy, he'd laughed at the co-op. One of two that blessed the town. How many towns were that blessed? Surely nothing bad could ever happen in a town that had two co-ops. Oh, please, Daddy, Timmy had laughed that Saturday morning, brittle winter sunshine fracturing through the smeared windows of one of our two co-ops. Oh, please, can we have tangerines? Always the hard G with Timmy. And always the incorrect identification of citrus fruit. But did I love him?
course I did. A bit. But how many times did I have to refer him to the I Spy book of citrus fruit? They're not tangerines. They're tangerines, and these aren't tangerines anyway. They're satsumas, I had explained. And oh, how we'd laughed. We'd laughed as though it were the very last day on earth. Well, I did. I was more easily amused than Timmy. Back then. Anyway. And then we're at home, suddenly. I had no idea how we'd got there, though in hindsight, I suspected it had something to do with me driving a Renault Clio that was registered in my name as per the correct procedure. I can still see it now. Timmy racing ahead with our Waitrose bag for life, even though we'd shopped at Co-op. I know, right? Bag for life. Life. It seems so ironic now. Ironic in a way that Alanis Morissette could have never understood. No! Wait! I cried as I watched my son disappear through that front door. I'd have chased after him. But I was eating a chalk ice that I got a wee bit melty on the drive home. Do I regret it? Of course. If I could turn back time just once, and that would be the moment I'd change. Or I'd buy a lottery ticket. Either way, by the time I got to the house, it was too late. Timmy. Dear little Timmy was standing there, big smile over his face, Sharpie in his hand, and on that Satsuma, a face. A hideous, grinning face, a ghastly, leering face, an abhorrent, gurning face, a sinister...
Darling,
Aye?
are you coming to bed? Oh, you're not still on about that Satsuma, are you?
No.
For goodness sake, Bill, give it a rest. It was just a child's drawing on a Satsuma. And you ate it afterwards anyway.
Aye, but I had a wee bit of a tummy ache afterwards.
Aye, you did. But only because of the 6 pints of tennis super you had before your bed.
No, it wasn't...
Yes, it was, Bill. Now stop narrating this nonsense. Timmy's trying to get to sleep. He's got his geography mock in the morning. For goodness sake, Bill.
Malcolm Stevens, an adventure in sound. Yeah.
Well, there we are, Renton. It's Richard. Yes, him too. Here we are at the end of the show, and to use a phrase that I normally reserve for an entirely different set of circumstances, how was it for you? Well, it was fine, I suppose. Oh, come on now, Percy Pout. There's obviously something bugging you. Well, all right then. Well, there's just three things, actually. Oh, here we go. Well, first of all, it would have been nice to have had, equal billing. Secondly, it would have been a good gesture, what with us being childhood friends, if you'd actually got my name right just once. Robin? Richard. And thirdly, I must confess, I'm a bit confused as to why you've done the entire show dressed as a kestrel. It's an osprey, actually. Well, it's a bit disconcerting. Well, don't be mean. It took my mum ages to make this. She asked what I'd like for my birthday, and Can you hear that? There it is again. Oh, yeah. It's coming from over there. Could you go and check it out, please? It's hard to walk in these realistic osprey talons. Oh, thank God.
Arsene Wenger?
Oh, thank you. I was going insane in there, or, as we say in France, pas de scène. But how did you end up in there? Well, I thought it was the way out, like when I mistook that cupboard door earlier. Yeah, I can understand the cupboard, Monsieur Wenger, but that's a drawer. How the hell did you end up stuck in a drawer? I do not know, but it was as difficile as any incarceration experienced by Papillon. Anyway, Papillon. You do need to go now. Mum has a special friend coming round in a bit, and they need the lounge. Hey, Raj, It's Richard.
Richard, yeah. Do you fancy going out for a celebratory pint?
Well, I can't, mate. I've got a hot date.
Yeah, right, mate. Who was it? Somebody falling for your brilliant poem earlier.
Well, yeah, as it happens. Yeah.
She said she was really moved by it, so yeah, I'm off on a romantic assignation.
With who?
Whom? Who's whom?
No, it's just grammar.
Your grandma?
No, it doesn't matter. Look, it's Tanya, the traffic lady.
Yay.
Oh.
Right.
You don't mind, do you, mate?
Me? No. Why would I mind?
Oh, well, no, I don't know. I thought maybe you might have fancied her.
No. Why would you?
Oh, no, well, that's great then, mate, because that would have been massively awkward.
Yeah. Hashtag orcs.
Right, Raymond.
It's Richard.
Sorry, Richard. You coming? There are 2-metre tailbacks at the Smoking Dogs bar, causing getting drunk to be delayed by up to 10 minutes. So, let's go.
Okie dokie. Well, see you around, mate. Thanks for the radio thing. Yeah. Well, see you around then, mate. We'll go for that pint another time. Yeah, laters. Arson.
Where?
Do you fancy going out for a drink somewhere?
Oh, well, that is very kind of you, but I've already agreed to go for a petty aperitif with a magical wizard who has also become ensconced in that drawer.
A magical wizard?
Yoo-hoo!
That would be little old me. Oh, so cute. I literally took a wrong turn and ended up stuck in a drawer with this wise Frenchman from Belgium or somewhere. Anywho, Monsieur Wanger, you good to go blow the froth off a few?
Well, you tell me, my mystical friend, for you have stared into the very center of the universe and glimpsed my destiny.
Well, yes, indeedy. You are so good to go.
Amazing. He is even more magique than Gandalf. Au revoir.
Laters, potatoes. I just made that up. I'm so crazy. Right. Well, it's just me, I suppose. Oh, and the producer, of course. Sorry, pal. Would you like to go for a drink?
I can't.
Why not?
I, just can't.
Oh, got something better to do, have you?
Well, yes,
What?
actually.
What's that then? What? Alphabetize your sci-fi novels or something?
No, I did that this morning.
So what is it?
Well, it's a bit awkward.
Oh, come on, you can tell me.
Because he's having a spot of din-dins with me.
What? He's your special friend.
He's my new special friend.
But, Mum...
No buts, young man. Off to bed now. Take your Coco Pops and Caramacs with you.
But, Mum...
Come on, Malky Walky Woo. Toilet and teeth and up the wooden hill to Bedfordshire.
But, Mum, I'm still on the radio.
And I've put out your favourite Mr. T Jim Jams on your bed. Now, off. Shoo. Vamoosh.
But can't I just say goodbye to my many, 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 many listeners?
No. Bed now.
Well, we apologise for the loss of transmission there. It is due to the presenter's mum making him go to bed, which is something of a broadcasting first. But there is plenty more to come, so sit back, pour yourself a tall glass of Ribena, and relax.